first of all, ESGR, we're actually employees of the Department of Defense and one of their favorite employees because they don't pay us a thing for doing anything. I shouldn't say not doing anything, but we are one of about 66,000 members throughout the nation. We got about 80 members here in the state of North Dakota that work with us. In fact, we have one in Wahpeton there, Kay Ames. I don't know if any of you know her, but she is currently on vacation in Arkansas, and I told her to stay out of the swamps if that's where she's going. But she's done a good job for us, and she's had some injuries lately too. But we try to stay busy. Most of our presentations are done this way via Zoom. I have been down in Wahpeton doing them in person, which they don't encourage us to do any more of those until later on, but we can if need be, but we have to wear a mask and you have to stay distance from you. Can't get near you and blame us for getting you sick. But have you both had your vaccines?
I haven't had mine yet. I got my first dose. I'm still waiting. Next week I get my second dose. So
okay. Well, I hope you do well in the second dose. Talked to somebody the other day, and they were laid up for 2 days again. But
I heard that.
I never had any problems. Moderna. So anyway, back to ESGR. We try to foster a culture in which employers support and value the employment of military service members, which is what Minn-Dak is doing. And we appreciate all that you do, Justin, for supporting the Guard and Reserve. And man, it's really a support here when you lose them for a whole year. We'd say thank you. And what Raymond has done is to put you in for what we call a Patriot Award. And that should be up on your screen right now. And do you have it there in the office? Yeah, you got it. Good. Okay, thank you. I'd love to read it. The Office of the Secretary of Defense, Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, recognizes Justin Beal, Minn-Dak Farmers Co-op, patriotic employer, and for contribution to the national security and protecting liberty and freedom by supporting employees' participation in American National Guard and Reserve Forces. And it's signed there. So we hope that you can put this up on the wall and show it off, make sure people notice it when they come in your office, wherever you post it. And then along with that, you should have what we call the statement of support. That one, I don't know, Jeanette, you got that up there? What it says, we ask that you sign it, date it, and place it in your office. And by doing that, and a lot of people, when we first deliver one of those, somebody says, what's it going to cost me? It doesn't cost you anything except the support that you provide to Raymond and the Guard and Reserve. So again, thank you for that. By signing a statement, just fully recognizes the Guard and Reserve, fully honor, comply USERA law, which is a lot of rules there. Will provide their managers and supervisors with tools they need to effectively manage employees who serve the Guard and Reserve. Appreciate the values, leadership, and unique skills service members bring to the workforce, and will encourage opportunities to hire Guardsmen, Reserve, and veterans. We will continually recognize and support our country's service members and their families in peace, crisis, and war. And from my experience in past, Minn-Dak, whether it's the sugar beet or the corn plant down there, have done that very well with ESGR. And we again say thank you for all that support and appreciate what you do. Again, post this in your lobby so people can see that when they come in. Do you know how many veterans or Guard members that are employed?
Oh, there's quite a few on there, I would think, with Guard members. Active Guard members, there's less than 5 of us, but we do have quite a few veterans.
Okay. Well, thank you. The veterans and then the active guard. It's there's 4 or 5 more that are gone every once in a while. So that's a big demand on you. At this time, I'm gonna call on our state chair, Delton Steele, has a few words. 2 minutes.
Okay, well, all right. Well, thanks, Dave. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But first of all, I want to start out by thanking Raymond. Thank you for taking the time to nominate Justin for the Patriot Award. That is, we know it takes some time and some effort to go and do that, and I'm glad, very happy that you did. I mean, everything that we do with ESGR really starts with that Patriot Award. I mean, we do other things. We educate employers if they have questions. If there happens to be a conflict at work, we do provide a free ombudsman service. But we're very fortunate in North Dakota that we have very, very, very little of that. And 95% of what Dave and I and Joe and all our other volunteers throughout the state do is we get to have fun recognizing outstanding supervisors like you, Justin, and companies that really support their Guard and Reserve members. And so, as Dave mentioned, we are all volunteers with the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. It's a program that was organized way back in 1972 by the Department of Defense. So don't know if you can see my little emblem here in my shirt, but all of us are very proud to wear that. Joe's got hers on. Dave, I know, has got his. He's got one of the older ESGR shirts, but I can see his emblem on there as well. But we all take that very seriously. And as Dave mentioned, there's about 3,000, little over 3,000 volunteers throughout the United States and the 50 or the other territories. And yeah, we've got, about 60 volunteers in the state of North Dakota that help us out from time to time. And so it's an honor to represent the Department of Defense in this fashion. But again, Raymond, thank you for taking the time to nominate Justin. And Justin, congratulations for the support you're providing. And I know the support we've already talked about this morning that you're going to be providing as you lose Raymond for quite a few months here doing duty. But you know what? Your company is playing a very huge part in our nation's defense by allowing your service member to be deployed. And man alive, we've seen North Dakota service member, National Guard members really be deployed with record number of hours on the COVID mission. Now it's the fire mission, even in Western North Dakota. Thank goodness there weren't any floods this year, although we need rain in in most of North Dakota. We're fortunate down here where I live. We got about 3¼ inches, which we really needed. But yeah, you'd like to see that spread out a little bit. But anyway, and then, you got the war on terror. The reason he's going to be going to DC to protect the nation's capital in that mission there, which has been going on for, gosh, I can't even remember how long that's been going on now. Too many years, but time and time again, our Guard and Reserve members are called upon to defend our nation, and they make up roughly 50% of our national defense nowadays. And so and you know what, it is, in one way, it's bad or it's hard on employers, but knowing that our North Dakota National Guard members make such a difference in our nation's military and defense of our country, it's an honor to see that they are called upon. But we know how challenging it is for employers and their managers. But so I just want to say thank you again to both of you. Justin, congratulations on being nominated. As Dave said, display that very proudly in your office along with the statement of support wherever it can be seen. And Raymond, thanks so much for your service to our country and for what you're doing to make sure people like me and all the rest of us get to sleep soundly at night. We don't, I don't know, that's never far from my mind, especially in my role as state chair, getting to meet so many National Guard and Reserve members that we have in North Dakota. It's truly an honor and very humbling, and thank you for your service. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Raymond. If you have anything you want to add, then I'll have you turn it over to Justin. And I know that Jeanette will jump all over me if I don't have you do this, but make sure you guys take a picture today that we can post on our ESGR North Dakota website. And maybe one that you guys have, if Minn-Dak has a farmer or has a Facebook site or social media that you can use as well to proudly recognize what both of you have done here today. But anyway, Justin or Raymond, I'm going to turn it over to you first. And we didn't really talk about what you did, but I'll let you explain why it means so much, the support that you're getting from Justin and your company. So go ahead, sir.
Like I said, last summer I was put on COVID orders, and throughout all my training and the numerous times I've been away because of military, Justin and Minn-Dak itself has done nothing but help me out and take care of it and cover down when needed whenever I was gone. So I felt I had no choice but to put him in for the award. So
awesome job, nice write-up, and thank you for doing that. So Justin, yeah, we talked a little bit about the challenges and that come with this, but obviously you're a supporter, and talk to us a little bit, or maybe tell us a little bit about what this means to receive this recognition from Raymond.
Oh, it means a lot to me, I guess. I didn't expect Ray to do this, I guess, for me, but I do really appreciate it. We do whatever we can to help these guys out anytime. Old man Vincent, he's been out here, he's been over to Kosovo and all that stuff for a long time in the past, I guess. But Minn-Dak's always been supportive for the troops and helping them out with.
Awesome. Well, thank you for what you're doing. And I think he's retired now, but I had an acquaintance, a friend of mine, that actually doesn't live too far from me down here in the Lakes area. But Tom Knutson, I don't know if any of you guys remember a guy by Tommy Knutson, but I think he's retired now anyway.
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah, he just retired maybe a few years ago, I think, something like that.
Yep. That sounds right. I think he retired just a little bit before I did at the end of maybe 2019 or right in that, somewhere in that time frame. But yeah, I got to know Tommy over the years a little bit from being down here, and his brother-in-law is a very good friend of mine that also lives, they kind of live in the same area over there. So.
Okay.
And Joe, I don't want to, Joe, you're kind enough. Tell the guys there a little bit about what you do and why you're part of ESGR and where you're located. And but yeah, you're gracious enough to join us today. But Joe Duncan's one of our ward committee members and dedicated volunteer. But Joe, I'll turn it over to you for a little bit.
Thanks, Dalton. Well, I have not been in the service personally myself, but I have a lot of family members that have. And the veterans and the VA has been so good to my father and my other family members that I wanted to do something to honor my dad's memory and to give back. And this is my way of giving back and saying thank you. And I really like volunteering. So this is just kind of hit home for me. And I work at Cargill in West Fargo, and I am in my office today, but when I'm not here, I'm at my home office on Silver Lake by Battle Lake. So anyway, and I think you guys probably know some of my family members that used to work at Minn-Dak. The Mike Neese, Kathy Neese, Jack Neese, Shirley Neese. That's my family. What? What, Dave?
I said that's the Neese family there.
Yeah. So anyway, but also thank you guys for everything that you do, and also to your for your service, Raymond.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, she's a big asset to this committee up here, and I really appreciate all that she does. And she's out there mixing up soybeans and
No,
sunflower,
flax, canola.
Yeah,
Dave, get it right.
And if you ever get it mixed up, boy, she gets hell, I guess. But anyway, and that other cargo plant in Wahpeton is the corn one, right?
Correct.
That's right. Yeah. We've got those two mixed up sometimes. Raymond, how many times were you called out for COVID?
Actually, I was only called out once.
Okay.
We got activated in May, and I stayed until the end of September.
Yeah, well,
A lot of time. So thank you. If you were giving shots or directing people where to go or what to do, it's been a big job for the Guard this year. And the whole state owes a big thank you to you all.
mhm.
They wanted me to stay on, but I told them no, I had to go back to work.
That gets me. There's so many people who were called up for 2 weeks or a week, and then they go back, and then they get called up again for a week, and that was really tough on the employers and the Guard members. So we thank you for all the support that you give us from Minn-Dak, Justin, and Bremen for your service. I'm retired Navy, 28 years, so I appreciate all that you do, and I look back and it's just good memories, I guess. So maybe just before we leave, a little crop report from down there. Did you get a lot of rain?
Just recently, yeah.
It's been raining nonstop kind of for the last 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. 1 day of sunshine there.
Did you get a lot of beats in
Yeah.
those?
3 inches of rain in 2.5 days.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, about the same as us then. We're in the same line then, it sounds like, so. Yeah.
Too bad it
Never
comes to,
snowing, so
yeah. Welcome to North Dakota. Well, Jeanette, do you have any closing words for us?
No, just a reminder to get the pictures, and congratulations and thank you for your service.
Yes.
thank you, man.
Get some guys in there, take some pictures with Minn-Dak in the background or something, or the plant or whatever, or snow. No,
However you want to do it, yeah.
no snow.
Yeah. there you
Okay,
go.
well, I appreciate it. Nice having all of you here, and thank you again for the service from the Guard and Minn-Dak. You do a great job, and I hope someday we can probably meet. On the Guard, when you return from 18 months, do you have like a welcome home event? They've done that before, but I haven't heard many of those. I suppose it's because of COVID, but
Yeah, the only like welcome home thing is that they have the yellow ribbon ceremonies, but as for an actual welcome home ceremony, I don't think that.
I haven't done it. There used to be a pre-deployment and a return that they used to do with the governor there and all that, but
Yeah.
I think it's happening so often right now that people are going and coming so often that it's kind of tough for them to keep track of. But anyway, well, you're never far from our thoughts. I know that. And again, yeah, thanks for what you're doing. But
okay.
Dave, good job today. And thanks for letting me be a part of this. It's nice to meet both of you gentlemen today. And yeah, I wish, hopefully someday we can meet, in person somewhere along the way.
Okay.
But with that, Dave, I'll let you close us out.
Okay, well, thank you. And being a Guard guy and a retired guy, I'll just salute you and say goodbye.
Thank you.